I was 16 when my life ended. Or at least, that's how it felt in the moment. One heartbeat, I was walking across Pine and Willow Street. The next, I was staring down at my own broken body lying in the crosswalk. I had been hit by a dark pickup truck that came out of nowhere, the screech of tires still ringing in my ears, even though I couldn't feel my body anymore. I should have been terrified, but strangely, I wasn't. It was quiet. Peaceful. Like someone had taken the weight of every worry I had. The loneliness, the questions I never dared to ask, the ache of my father leaving, and lifted it from my shoulders. Then I saw it. A tunnel of golden light, pulsing with life, inviting me closer. When I stepped into that light, I found myself in a place words can't fully hold. The colors were richer, the air itself seemed alive, and then I saw him, Jesus Christ. He didn't look exactly like the paintings in Sunday school, but I knew instantly who he was. His eyes held every truth I'd ever run from, every wound I carried, and every ounce of mercy I didn't know I needed. He called me by name. Matthew, I have been waiting for you. I broke. Tears I didn't know were inside me poured out, not from sadness, but because I had finally come home. But his tone shifted, urgent yet full of love. There is much for you to see, and when you have seen it, you will have to choose. In an instant, the fields of light vanished, and we stood above the earth as if on the edge of the sky. I could see rivers glinting in the sunlight, cities sprawling like clusters of lights. But beneath it all, I sensed tension, like a storm building. Then the vision shifted, and I found myself looking inside churches. What I saw broke my heart. In one sanctuary, the cross had been shoved to the side to make room for a massive banner of political slogans. People stood in clusters shouting at each other. There was no worship, only anger. In another church, the atmosphere was cold and distant. People avoided eye contact, their pews full but their hearts empty. Jesus explained, "The enemy is using politics to divide my church. Many are placing their hope in a man, while others build their identity around opposing him. Both have forgotten who I am." I knew exactly who he meant. The name Donald Trump echoed in my mind, not because Jesus said it directly, but because I had seen both extremes in real life. Friends and family who treated him like a savior, and others who cursed his name as if he were the devil himself. And somehow, in both cases, Christ had been pushed aside. I saw shadows, not human, but dark spiritual forces, whispering into ears, fanning flames of division. People leaned into those whispers thinking they were defending truth, when in reality they were turning against their brothers and sisters. We shifted again, and I saw angels, hundreds of them, glowing and ready to move, but many stood still. "They are not weak," Jesus said, "but they have not been called. Too few of my people pray." Then he showed me something different. What could happen if the church returned to him? I saw communities transformed not by laws but by love. People with opposing political bumper stickers hugging each other. Neighborhoods once filled with crime now alive with worship. A homeless man welcomed into the front pew. Former addicts embraced without judgment. I saw people preparing food for neighbors who had lost jobs, not asking how they voted before serving them. I saw baptisms by the riverbank, the water filled with laughter and tears of joy. And in every scene, the focus wasn't on Donald Trump or any leader, it was on Jesus alone. I didn't want to leave that vision, but Jesus' face grew serious. "You must see the other side." The warmth vanished. The light dimmed. What replaced it was a darkness that was more than the absence of light. It was the absence of everything good. No peace, no joy, no love. People were there, crying out in despair, their bodies trembling. The most painful part was seeing some of them I recognized from church pews. They had worn crosses but never carried them. They had spoken his name but refused his love. Some had built their identity around defending God and country, but had never truly known God. Jesus' voice was steady. "Many who speak my name do not know me. Tell them the time is short. Tell them I am not coming for a political army, but for a faithful bride. I didn't wake up in a hospital bed right away, at least not from my perspective. From where I stood with Jesus, I watched my body in the room below, pale, wires running from my chest, my mother gripping my hand with tears streaming down her face. A nurse whispered something to the doctor, and I knew what they meant. He's not coming back. But then, as if pulled through my very chest, I gasped awake. My mom's voice broke with relief. "Matthew, you're back." I later learned my heart had stopped for 9 full minutes. Medically speaking, I should have been gone. But I wasn't gone. I carried every word, every image, every warning Jesus had given me. At first, I told only a few people. Some leaned in, deeply moved. Others laughed it off, calling it a dream from my unconscious mind. A couple warned me, "Matthew, be careful. People will misunderstand, especially if you bring politics into it." But I couldn't water it down. Jesus hadn't told me to make people comfortable. He had told me to speak the truth. And the truth was this. Too many of us have allowed political leaders, Donald Trump included, to take the center place in our hearts that belongs to Jesus alone. Some have turned him into an idol. Others have turned their hatred for him into their identity. And in both cases, the enemy is winning. Jesus' words burned into me. Tell them to stop lifting up men and start lifting up me. The harvest is ready, but my church must wake up. Too many think they are prepared because they know the language of faith, but I look at the heart, not the slogans on their lips. I thought about friends who posted Bible verses online but tore others down in private, about church leaders who preached saving the nation but rarely spoke about saving souls, about Christians who defended their politics more fiercely than their faith. Then I remembered the vision of angels, powerful and ready, but waiting for someone to pray. I remembered the transformed communities, the acts of kindness that crossed political lines, the unity that made the demons tremble, and I remembered the darkness of what happens if we do not turn back to Christ. This wasn't about Republican or Democrat. It wasn't about Donald Trump being good or bad. It was about the church remembering who her king is. Because when we replace him with anyone else, even someone we believe God has used, we set ourselves up for heartbreak and division. Jesus had said it clearly. Your salvation is not in a president. Your life is not secured by a party. It is secured by me. So here I am telling you the same thing he told me. The time is shorter than we think. If your faith has grown cold, ask him to light it again. If you've built your identity on anything but him, tear it down and let him rebuild it. If you've been silent while division has torn the church apart, now is the time to speak. Not with louder arguments, but with deeper love. I know some will dismiss this. Others will get angry. But that doesn't change what I saw or what I heard. The moment will come when each of us will stand before him. And when that day comes, he won't ask how you voted. He'll look at your heart. I was 16 when my life ended and began again. I've been given this message not to scare you, but to wake you up. Stop fighting each other. Start loving each other. Stop putting your hope in men. Lift up Jesus. He's the only one who can unite us, heal us, and save us before it's too late.